Of the pandemic era gets underway today. CBS's Steve Futterman.
After last year's shortened season, Major League Baseball hopes things can get back to normal. Fans will be back, although the number of fans depends on COVID regulations where the game's being played.
15 games are on today's schedule. President Biden tells ESPN he backs players talking about moving the MLB's All-Star game out of Atlanta because of Georgia's new voting law.
I would strongly support them doing that. People look to them. They're leaders.
Rules passed last week require photo ID for mail-in votes and restrict use of ballot drop boxes. All of those online orders have led to a cardboard shortage. The Fiberbox Association says corrugated product producers churned out more than 400 billion square feet of everything from boxes to watermelon crates in 2020. The spike has prompted a rise in prices, with businesses feeling the hit. Experts say the surge in stay-at-home orders has been fueled by stimulus checks and a rise in remodeling from the pandemic housing boom. Lisa Mateo, CBS News. S&P futures up 9, Dow futures off 4. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies advisors listen to your small business needs so they can provide you with tailored solutions powered by Intel vPro platform. Call today, 877-ASK-DELL.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative, and their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
More learning, less shopping at a mall in Vermont.
When toxic industrial chemicals forced students out of downtown Burlington High School last year, school administrators scrambled to find a new location. That's when the nearby mall came into play. The former Macy's department store closed in 2018 and has since undergone $3.5 million worth of renovations by the state, including partial walls for classrooms. The store turned school still sports bright lights and red carpeting. The library is in the former China department, and the gym is in the unfinished warehouse. Students have described the space as weird, but cool. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
The body of an Emmy-winning TV and movie set designer who'd been missing since September was found by a cleaning crew under a pile of debris inside her kitchen in New York City. Ellen Brown says her 66-year-old sister, Evelyn Sakash, was a hoarder, and she'd sent workers in to clear out the home. Police say the medical examiner is working on a cause of death. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
I have the power to say this is not how my story will end.
My recovery comes first, so everything I love in life doesn't come last.
It's never easy, and it's really never over. But I know recovery is possible.
This is Dr. Clark. You've come this far. We're here to help you continue. You've got this, and we've got you.
This is Dr. Jones. Breakthrough Wellness provides services you need to keep moving forward and upward.
Breakthrough Wellness Montgomery, Dothan, Clanton, and Phoenix City. BreakthroughWellness.net.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Just Getting Started with Rich Eisen has stories of humble beginnings and humbling moments from inspiring people.
He is the founder of FUBU. He's a shark on a Shark Tank, Dave and John. Where do you think it all started for you?
First of all, I was never going to do anything illegal, and obviously I can't rap. So that was where I found FUBU. I was working the day job, and I was happy with it, but I found a hobby called FUBU because I just love to dress people, and I wouldn't realize that I would be here with you today.
Just Getting Started with Rich Eisen. Listen on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your shows.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials. The president is going to have to stand fast. The Ben Shapiro Show. They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down. Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it. Your WSFA First Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Well, the rain and storms are over with, and we've got absolutely no rain in the forecast for the next 7 days, but it is going to be much cooler. A shot of winter this morning, starting in the upper 30s and low 40s with a stiff north wind, 10 to 20, gusting higher than that. It will stay windy all day. It will be entirely sunny, but we only get to about 57 with a stiff north wind. Tonight, we're down into the low 30s, widespread frost, mid 30s. Friday night to Saturday morning, we warm into the 70s for Eastern.
That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now we're looking good. Your Thursday kicks off with no major problems or accidents. Interstate systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Albany, Greenville. No problems on Highway 80 or 14 coming in from the Selma area. And 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy, still carrying light traffic. Enjoy your favorite movies safely at the AMC Festival Plaza Theater. Plaza Theater involved another great McClinton and Company development. Buckle up front and back. It's the law. That's no fooling. Montgomery Skywatch traffic. This is Major.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's Nose. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's Nose.
Good morning. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Strong storms hit Alabama Wednesday. While it wasn't the tornado outbreak we've seen in the last 2 weeks, there was still damage reported. Most of it was in Walker County, but the storms also brought intense winds and rain to Central and South Alabama. The National Guard will continue their mobile vaccine clinics today and Friday. They'll be at the Alabama National Guard Armory in Tuskegee today. They'll also be at the Old Guard Maintenance Shop in Linden today. Friday, they'll be at Wilcox Central High School. All of these clinics will operate 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they're open to all eligible Alabamians free of charge. Life South Community Blood Center is putting out a new but familiar call for help. Life South says donors are needed right now to help our local hospitals reach a stable blood supply. All blood types are needed in what Life South calls an emergency need. To help, call Life South or visit the donation center on Carmichael Road in Montgomery. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
Hello, I'm Ben McNeil with United Foods USA, and we're celebrating the beautiful weather of spring. Enjoy sunshine, warmer weather, and the satisfaction of an all-American snack. Get 2 packs of Golden Flake tube nuts for only 99 cents. And get an 8-ounce Coke in the vintage bottle for only 99 cents. Pour some peanuts in your Coke and celebrate the ultimate spring snack. United Foods USA, home with a 99-cent special and quality top-tier Tri-Clean Citgo gasoline.
Shop the Rustic Furniture Outlet at American Oaken Board. Handmade, solid wood, rustic furniture at factory direct prices.
70% off every day.
How can we sell so cheap?
Because we're a direct outlet for the factory. Truckloads arriving weekly.
Whether you're looking for bedrooms, soups, tables and chairs, occasional tables, entertainment centers, consoles, study cabinets, bathroom vanities, if it's rustic, we got you covered. And it's all up to 70% off every day. Rustic Furniture Outlet, Wetumpka Highway next to American Oaken Board. Hey y'all, it's Cassidy Cody Wolf here at American Oaken Yard. We have some exciting news to share.
No, that was nobody's yet. We did sponsor our newest line called Wolf Brothers Furniture.
This line consists of 6 collections, including power and manual sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners.
Quality is key here at American Oaken Board, so we designed these collections with solid wood frame and high density foam.
Last but not least, whether they're covered in also with a 5-year warranty.
Stop by and see us at American Oaken Board.
It's a different year. You need to reach your potential customers, and your customers need to be able to find you. Let Cumulus Media help. We've built a unique opportunity for you to connect your business with River Region homeowners that are looking for your products and services. Radio, digital, and lead generation for your business, helping you reach hundreds of thousands of people in this area. You need to talk to Cumulus Media. Call Don Polno at 334-240-2257. That's 334-240-2257.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. And there it is. Nice work. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. So they hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. The patented ingredient is Testafit, which helps boost testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Sure it does. Sure it does.
Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel strong with more energy and endurance. I need to get a couple hundred bottle of Nugenix. No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text TIGER to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help get you back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text TIGER to 42424. That's TIGER to 42424.
The Rush Limbaugh Show.
In which people look absolutely pathetic.
After Rick and Bubba, it's the EIB Network at 11 a.m. And it's only on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
All right, now come on, headphones. Let's do this the right way here now. Oh, there we go. There we go. And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It's time to rise and shine. It's time for our Daily Bread. Our Daily Bread, of course, is brought to you by none other than Alabama Home Mortgage. That's right, because there's a difference, extreme difference in mortgage companies. 567-4223, ladies and gentlemen, if you need your house refinanced, or maybe you want to get a pre-financing arrangement, you want to get pre-approval. So when you go to buy that house, you got the approval in hand. They know you are serious. And if you paying some outrageous interest rate on your house, call those guys up. Trust me. And if you have a hard time getting it financed, they have worked miracles for many people. And if you're in the military, they have a special place for you also, because everybody over there is either been in or the children of military people. So they know our pain sometimes. So anyway, that's it. Next up, our Daily Bread. Our Daily Bread today is entitled, let me see here. So helpful. And that's what we need. It's a lot of help sometimes. So don't go nowhere. We'll be back.
Unless you've been living under a rock, then you know that mortgage rates are low. But did you know that mortgage rates have fallen to their lowest level since 1971? That's 50 years ago. So there's no wonder why you are getting bombarded with mortgage offers. Churchill said it best: a good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject and short enough to create interest. That's exactly what other mortgage companies do. They advertise a rate, a teaser, if you will. The advertised rate piques your interest, so you give them a call. You ask questions, only to find the advertised rate is not available to you, or there's a hefty cost for you to get that rate. Unfortunately, this is very common in the mortgage industry. When calling on Alabama Home Mortgage, you don't have to hope you're getting the best rate. You will know you're getting the best rate at the lowest cost to you. Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS 1586368, equal housing lender.
Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
And good morning, everybody. It is time to rise and shine if you can. It is time for our Daily Bread. Believe it or not, it is April the 1st, 2021 AD. Today's Daily Bread is simply entitled So Helpful. Romans 12:13 says, share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Our scripture insight today is from 1 Peter 4:7-11. So helpful. That's our Daily Bread for today. And again, it is April the 1st, 2021 AD. It
It's a special day today because just like the days of old and the ones of yesterday, this day has never been. And I guarantee this day won't ever come again. It is a once in a lifetime deal. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get to go back and summon it from the past. You can't undo the things you did, and you can't go back and do the things you should have done. So whatever it is you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done on this day, April the 1st, 2021. There's no doubt in my mind, if you are standing on God's green earth today, that you have seen, you have heard many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and some mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day, April the 1st, 2021. It is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Well, whatever it is, try to reach back and help somebody else along the way. Benjamin Elijah Mays once said that whatever you do in life, you should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say that is the standard by which you live life. You shall always be successful because you are not a failure until you quit. We say give out if you must, rest only if you can, but you never, ever give up because quitters don't win, and winners, they never quit. Oh, they may fail at a thing or two, but again, you are never a failure unless you give up. Sometimes you run into mountains. Sometimes the mountain is high, you can't go over it. Sometimes it's so deep, you can't get under it. And sometimes it seems so wide, you can't get around it. Well, if you can't go over it, you can't go around it, and you can't go under it, sometimes, with the help of God, you can go through it. But remember, no matter how much it rains, the sun is still high in the sky. At the moment, you just can't see it, but it's still there. My mother said, nothing beats a failure but a try. So keep putting one foot in front of the other. But don't ever give up, because quitters don't win, and winners never quit. And no matter what happens to you this day, April the 1st, 2021, no matter what happens, you remember this. It is still, as it is today, as it is the days of old. It is still a great day to be alive. Good morning, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine. So helpful. That's our daily bread for today, April the 1st, 2021, AD.
Hey, it's time for the Our Daily Bread Daily Devotional. Our writer for today is Dave Brannon, and the reading is titled, So Helpful. The caller to the Christian radio station said that his wife was coming home from the hospital following surgery. Then he shared something that spoke deeply to my heart. Everyone in our church family has been so helpful in taking care of us during this time. When I heard this simple statement, it reminded me of the value and necessity of Christian hospitality and care. I began to think that the love and support of fellow believers for one another is one of the greatest ways to demonstrate the life-changing power of the gospel. In 1 Peter, the apostle was writing a letter to be circulated among the first century churches in what's now the country of Turkey. In that letter, he compelled his readers to do something that his friend Paul wrote about in Romans chapter 12, verse 13. Practice hospitality. Peter said, love each other deeply, offer hospitality. And he told them to use the gifts God gave them to serve others.
These are clear directions to all believers in Jesus for how we're to treat fellow believers. All of us know people like that caller's wife, those who need someone to come alongside and show concern and Christ-like love. In God's strength, may we be among the ones who are noted for being so helpful. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. The end of all things is near. Therefore, be alert and of sober mind, so that you may pray. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others, as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. If anyone serves, they should do so with the strength God provides, so that in all things God may be praised through Jesus Christ. To him be the glory and the power forever and ever. Amen. Now let's pray. Heavenly Father, help us to serve others with the grace that we've received from you. May hospitality be a gift that flows from us freely. Give us the creativity and the strength to look for opportunities to invite others into our lives and offer them our friendship as you so lovingly offered the gift of your love for us. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Okay, it's time to rise and shine, Montgomery and the rest of the world, the rest of the country, whoever looking in this morning. No PT. Now, well, 3 days a week of PT is enough for us. We are the reserve team. Okay, we go out when everything gets messed up. Okay, FUBAR. That's when we come out. Okay. But now we pay homage to all of our armed forces. I know I'm the only guy that does it, but then again, when you're the only soldier, in talk radio in this town, you got to pay homage to the folks who make it possible. Somebody's mother, daughter, sister, aunt, brother, father, uncle, somebody is sitting on the fence someplace now, tomorrow, and in the past that said, not on my watch. Well, so far, they've been doing a pretty good job. So far. Now we just got to worry about the enemies within the country. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine, Montgomery, as we say thank you to all of our military personnel, and along with our fire departments and our police departments, and to all the people who go in when everybody else is running out.
Till baby once more is rescue and happy voyage home. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in Thee. Through cloud and gale and shock and shell to win our victory. Send the is our guide, our pledge and honor too. We're always ready to or die. I close country fight for you. On we go into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sky.
Okay, so anybody want to hear my Marine Corps story one more time? I didn't think so. But I'm going to tell it if I live one more time, because y'all need to hear this. You know, I have got to stay off eBay. You know, I got to stay off eBay. You know, because every time I go on eBay, I got to buy something. You know, and I'm always surprised. I just got to type it in and something comes up. So yesterday I'm sitting there. I said, well, I need me an Army coffee cup. You know, one says United States Army on it. Just a nice coffee cup to reminisce about the past. You know, so I got this cup. Right now, it didn't look this big on eBay. Looked like a small little cup. You know, I figured, hey, I drank a little coffee, drank a little tea, had the United States Army emblem on it right there, so I'm good. Okay, tried to find one with airborne wings on it, but I couldn't do it. So anyway, so I got this cup, and it finally comes in the mail. Big box comes in the mail. I'm saying to myself, well, what in the world's in that big box? Well, it was a cup, big old coffee cup, and I'm telling you, it looks like a bowl, but it's really a cup. That's what they call it anyway. But if I'd had to make coffee for the first sergeant with a cup this size, hell, I never would have been done making coffee. Come on, man. I don't need a coffee cup this big, although I do like it. Don't get me wrong. Because if I decide to have some Lipton soup or some Campbell soup in it, you know, I wouldn't have to switch devices. I can just, you know, open up the can of soup, put it in here, put it in the microwave, life goes on. But it is a big old cup, you know. I mean, it really is. If you guys are on Facebook right now, you can see this thing. I mean, it's like humongous, you know, but it didn't look that big on eBay, you know. So there I was, you know, I always got to buy something off eBay, you know. See, what they have done, they figured out, see, I don't buy tennis shoes. I don't pay $300, $400, $500 for a pair of tennis shoes. But I think what has helped our economy is that now you can actually sit in your office, sit in your house and go broke. I mean, you don't have to go any place to go broke anymore. I mean, you can just go broke right at home. I mean, used to be you had to go out, go to the store, sign a contract and all that. No, you don't have to do that no more. You can sit there and be poor at the house. But whatever you do, make sure you say your rent money, whatever the case may be. And another thing, it's meat week. This is meat week, first week of the month. Everybody that I know can afford meat. Okay, Z gets meat today. Okay, I went out yesterday and bought some hamburger meat. Okay, got it because it's meat week. Celebrate meat week. Then after this week, well, you know, we see what we can get. But this week, when the checks start rolling, baby, we get meat. Okay, bunch of kind of meat, all kind of meat. We get bologna, we get salami, you know, turkey. We even get to go out to one of the restaurants and maybe get a pizza. You know, so meat week is like a holiday every month for us. Okay, I'm just saying. So you might want to teach your kids the importance of meat week, because then by the time you get down to the last week of the month, you know, meat's kind of scarce. Okay, so maybe we could teach them just take the meat, cut it in half, and that way at the end of the month you'll have some meat. Okay, I mean, you don't really have to have meat. I mean, to have a decent dinner or breakfast, you don't really have to have it. I mean, but it is good. It does taste good, you know, to have a little meat, you know. So I'm just saying we might want to hold up on trying to eat all the meat this week. I'm just saying buy some, you know. So I went out to the PX, the BX, that's what the Air Force calls it. I gotta go down to Fort Benning at least one more time just to see how it looks down there. Go down to the big PX down there. We call them PX. Air Force calls them BXs. I don't know, base exchange. I don't know what the PX stand for. I don't know. I just know what place you go buy stuff. If you don't have no money, you just open up a quick account right there and you can put everything on credit. But I'm just wondering about that. I was just sitting there last night looking on eBay and wow. I said, yeah, I mean, you can actually sit at home and go broke. You know, you don't have to go any place. I mean, I love technology. I love it. Love computers. I mean, the things that they can reach out and touch people. And some people can reach out and touch you. Matter of fact, I got a note last night. Some guy in Texas was trying to get my account. He was trying to reach out and touch me. Okay, but see, I got the two verification thing there. So unless you know my cell phone number, you don't get to the right cell phone number. You don't get in the account. I'm just saying. So computers, you can reach out and touch other people, and people can reach out and touch a little bit about you too. I'm just saying you might want to be careful. Don't be like me, be an eBay hog. I just got to go there and watch. I mean, you can type anything into eBay and find it. I mean, anything. Okay. Some things you should not be typing in. I'm just saying there's something, because the minute you type certain things in, yeah, the man gonna be looking for you. Okay, they gonna be looking for you. They're gonna be at your house, monitoring your computer, all kind of things. So don't be looking for everything on eBay. Look for legal things on eBay. Okay, don't be trying to get some dope. Okay, now you don't want to try to buy crack cocaine or coca, whatever the Spanish people call it, coca. You don't want to try to do none of that. You just want to buy legal things on eBay. Okay, and don't be going. Although in the dark web, I've seen it. You can buy a little bit of that stuff on online. Not on eBay though, but you can buy. You got to go to the dark web, and the dark web is something else. I'm just telling you, you can find anything that you want. So don't go there. Don't be looking for the dark web. Don't go to Google and type in the dark web, because that ain't how you get there. Okay, you get there another kind of way. I know how to get there, but I don't suggest that you go out there in the dark web, because you'll be broke and maybe in jail. So leave the dark web alone. Okay, I gotta take a break. We'll come back. I'm just saying, so leave that dark web thing alone, because that ain't nothing but a whole bunch of trouble. Okay, so don't leave the dark web alone. Okay? I mean, you can also end up in jail at your house. I'm just saying, you can buy anything, you can go broke at home, and you can actually end up in jail at your house. So leave the dark web alone, because it's a dangerous place for the, shall we say, for the novice. Okay, let's take a break, and we'll come back and talk to you and everybody else, if anybody's up this time of morning. And I've been thinking about doing something for a long time, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Now, some people may be happy, some people may not be so much, but I thought today would be a great day to tell you. Okay, I know you wonder what that is, but I've been thinking about it for a while, and but I'll tell you about it later on. Anyway, it's time to rise and shine, everybody. So let's take a break, and we'll come back and tell you a little bit more things that's going on in the world.
Forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by NBC's Law & Order, Organized Crime. Big news, Law & Order fans. After 10 long years, Stabler is finally coming home. Christopher Maloney returns in Law & Order, Organized Crime. Part of an epic Law & Order crossover event. SVU, followed by Law & Order Organized Crime. Tonight on NBC.
Well, the rain and storms are over with, and we've got absolutely no rain in the forecast for the next 7 days, but it is going to be much colder.
Well, that's good.
Of winter this morning, starting in the upper 30s and low 40s with a stiff north wind, 10 to 20 gusting higher than that. It will stay windy all day. It will be entirely sunny, but we only get to about 57 with a stiff north wind. Tonight, we're down into the low 30s, widespread frost, mid-30s. Friday night to Saturday morning, we warm into the 70s for Easter.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. So far, so good. Your Thursday morning, April Fools, holds no major problems or accidents. That's no joke. Interstate systems moving smoothly into the Tri-County area. You keep listening. We'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Your new Toyota is waiting for you at Reinhardt Toyota. Visit their location on the East Boulevard or shop online at ReinhardtToyota.com. Buckle up, front and back, it's the law. From Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's Knows. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's Knows.
Russell Wilson here. We play 60, United Way, in the NFL, helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids.
To get involved, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Donate.
Your kids can do that every time?
Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hey y'all, this is Aaron Tippett. Being in the music business, traveling, working late, doesn't do great things for my routine. But I found that staying active and making time to work out helps keep my energy where it needs to be to perform my best. No matter what you do or where you are, make time to stay in shape. You'll feel better and have the energy you need to accomplish your goals. This message brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
I got smart about mortgages. Now it's my house I go home to.
I got smart about credit cards. Now paper or plastic has a whole new meaning.
When it comes to your money, whatever you want to get smart about, you can find it at smartaboutmoney.org. Smartaboutmoney.org is a free online resource from the National Endowment for Financial Education. We're an independent nonprofit foundation dedicated to helping people just like you get sound information about money. Smartaboutmoney.org. It's the easy place to start when you want to get smart.
Did you know that June is Men's Health Month?
Ladies, now is the time to encourage the men and boys in your life to make that doctor's appointment he's been putting off, or talk to the doctor about the symptoms he's been having. We're outliving men by 5 years. Let's change that by raising awareness this month on preventable health problems, early detection, and treatment of diseases that impact men and boys.
Men, it's time to talk to the younger generation and encourage healthy lifestyles. Exercise more, drink more water, and cut down on junk food. Let's set an example for our kids that will not only affect their lives, but the lives of their children. June is the perfect time to schedule your annual checkup and make those healthy lifestyle changes.
Healthy lifestyle changes.
This is State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris. For more information, visit our website, www.alabamapublichealth.gov.
I'm Aaron Tippett. I've been blessed to be able to make a living at what I love, making music for more than 25 years. But it didn't get there overnight.
No.
There were a lot of long days and nights of working just to make ends meet. Good things in life don't always come easy, but when you sweat for what you want, it makes it even sweeter when you get it. So remember to work hard, and when the opportunities present themselves, you got to be ready to grab them. This message is brought to you by the United States Air Force.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with heart failure, my mother remained strong.
Because without strength, you lose hope. Together, we will rise above heart failure.
To help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
Many of the locally owned and operated restaurants you love are staying open to serve you during this difficult time. To find a list of these restaurants, visit newsradio1440.com. Eat local and help our local businesses stay open.
It is 6:40 in the morning, right here on News Radio 1440. I want to thank you guys. I do have an announcement to make today, but I'll hold it off till the next hour so you guys can, I want you to get the full effect of it. I want you to be, surprised. Yeah. Anyway, good morning to you. Again, it's April the 1st. It is the 91st day of this year. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, yes. Lessons of life today. Now, lessons of life for information that that I can give you every morning, that if you pay attention to it and follow it, you may. I can't guarantee it, but you may be a better person. Okay? You may. It may change your perspective on a lot of things. And the lesson of life today comes from Benjamin Elijah Mays. And he said, the tragedy of life is not found in failure, but in complacency. Not in you doing too much, but doing too little. Not in you living above your means, but below your capacity. It is not failure, but aiming too low that is life's greatest tragedy. Okay? Yeah, that's Benjamin Elijah Mays, a main man. Love me some Benjamin Elijah Mays. He used to be president of Morehouse. I didn't know about Morehouse when I was coming up. I didn't know about HBCUs and all those kinds of things. When you live down the street from Notre Dame, it's kind of hard to worry about any other school. You know what I mean? Anyway, you want to hear that one more? The tragedy of life is not found in complacency, not in you doing too much, but doing too little. Okay? Okay? Not in doing too much, but doing too little. Not in, aiming too low, but it is not to have an aim at all. Okay? That is life's greatest tragedy. The word of today is, you ever get a book like for school, and you go down to the used bookstore, you get your college books and all this stuff, and you get a book with a bunch of notes in it, right? And that's the kind of book I like getting, because that way I didn't have to do none of that. Find this, find that. I mean, the brother just had them all in the woman, whoever it was at the book. So they had it all in there, okay? Well, there's a term for that, okay? When you get the book and there's notes written on, there's writing next to the writing that has been written in the book, okay? It is called marginalia, okay? Marginalia, okay? That's the name of the word. That is the notes that you write alongside the text that is already written in the book. I just want to let you know. So that's the word of the day, marginalia, okay? The notes you write along the text in a book. So the next time, your boss asks you what you're doing, say, I'm just doing some marginalia, okay? And he won't have a clue what the hell you're talking about, because this one got me last night too. I just want to let you know. Anyway, the numbers here. Oh, well, forget the numbers here. I got to go to other things first. It is April the 1st. It is the 91st day of this year. And believe it or not, there are only 274 days left. We started out with 365 days. Now we're down to 274. On April the 1st, 2003, American troops entered a hospital in Iraq and rescued, Army PFC Jessica Lynch, who'd been held prisoner since her unit was ambushed on March the 23rd, and who are airborne to the young men and women who went out there and put their life on the line to go get PFC Jessica Lynch back. Thank you very much. There was another young lady, a black child that they went and got too, but we appreciate them doing the work. That's what we pay them to do. In 1789, on this day, U.S. House of Representatives held its first full meeting in New York. Frederick Muhlenberg of Pennsylvania was elected the first House Speaker. Okay, that's good. In 1933, on this day, Nazi Germany staged a day-long national boycott of Jewish-owned businesses. Don't ask me why. This got problems. Also on this day in 1945, American forces launched an amphibious invasion of Okinawa. During World War II, U.S. forces succeeded in capturing the Japanese island on June the 22nd. In 1954, the United States Air Force Academy was established by President Dwight David Eisenhower. In 1970, on this day, President Richard M. Nixon signed a measure banning cigarette advertising on radio and television to take effect on January 1st, 1971. I really don't believe that stopped any people from smoking cigarettes who wanted to smoke cigarettes. I don't think that's, more people get hurt in cars than sticking. We don't ban advertising for those, do we? Which I'm glad we don't. 1972, the first Major League Baseball player strike began. It lasted 12 days. Baseball athletes, for some reason, think that what they do is important. I don't. It's fun, it's entertainment, but do you really think that because a bunch of millionaires get together who getting way overpaid because Americans are pretty much stupid when it comes to sports, that I care if you go on strike? Seriously, who cares? Does anybody, when the basketball goes on strike, when baseball, now I will admit to you, I will admit to you now, okay, I am a football fanatic. I know, because I don't really talk a lot about sports, but I am a football fanatic. But since they've been giving me their political views, I've turned a deaf ear to that. I just play the ball, man. I don't hear nothing about your political views, because most of you don't have enough sense to determine what your views are anyway. So, okay, I'm just saying, I don't care if you're going straight. But now I like college football. That didn't come pro, but I like college football. I do. I do. I find it relieves stress, because I can act like I'm the guy that's on the field knocking the hell out of somebody or getting the hell knocked out of me. But either way it go, I didn't, I like football, but I don't care if people go and strike in football and basketball. Really, I mean, it's like, ooh, I'm going on a food strike. Okay, I'm not. I mean, so if you want to go hungry, that's on you. But don't expect me to go, expect me to go hungry with you. I don't play that. Anyway, so in 1972, they had a baseball strike that lasted 12 days. 1976, where was I then? Oh, yeah. Leaving school. Okay. Yeah, that's where I was. One of them days. 1976. Apple Computer was founded by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak and Ronald Wayne. You never hear much about Ronald Wayne, but he was part of that deal too. In 1983, tens of thousands of anti-nuclear demonstrators linked arms in a 14-mile human chain spanning 3 defense installations in rural England, including Greenham Commons, which is a U.S. air base. In 1984, we'll all remember this if you're around then, Marvin Gaye was shot to death by his dad, Marvin Gaye Sr., in Los Angeles, the city of angels. The day before the Recording Stars' 45th birthday. Now, the elder Gaye pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and received probation. Now, when I read this, I said, well, now I know what Dad says is, you need to pay attention to that. No matter how old you are, if you can't pay attention to it, you just leave the house. Like, yeah, I go home, I go home when I get out of basic training and got out of jump school. And I go home, with my Ranger stuff on. My mama told me you got to be in the house by 9 o'clock. Whoa, what's up with that? So I said, listen, I think I'm gonna just stay in a hotel, because I'm not going, I ain't gonna make it by 9, Mom. But you don't disrespect your mama and your dad. I don't care how old you are. You just gotta. There's just some things you cannot change, and you cannot change your mama or your dad. I'm trying to show Zarel that now. Anyway, Marvin Gaye was shot to death by his dad, and he received probation. I'm trying to figure out why he got probation. There must have been some extenuating circumstances there. But everybody who's been black has heard this one time or another from their parents. Y'all know what the saying is. You know what it is. I brought you in, and I'll take you out. I guess Marvin Gaye daddy really meant it. So anyway, but I don't suggest we do that. I think we just walk away from our kids and, I'll put them out. Put them out the house. Don't be shooting and kill them. Just put them out the house. Just break the plate, take the house key, and tell them, see you later. Okay, if you can't abide by my rules, living in my house, you just need to go. Okay, and if you won't go, call the police. Okay, let the police put them out. 1987, in his first speech on the AIDS epidemic, President Ronald Reagan told doctors in Philadelphia, "We've declared AIDS the public health enemy #1. In 1988, the scientific bestseller, A Brief History of Time, From the Big Bang to Black Holes by British physicist Stephen Hawking was first published in the United Kingdom and the United States by Bantam Books. The year was 1992. The National Hockey League Players Association went on its first ever strike, which lasted 10 days. There it is, another sports franchise that really thinks I care, especially hockey, which has got to be the most boringest thing I ever watched TV. Hockey is kind of like drag racing, not drag racing, that other race when they go around in the circle, in the circle, in the circle, in the circle. Okay, the only reason why people go to hockey game, come on, be honest. You want to see somebody fight, okay? You want to see somebody get the hell knocked out of them. Like in that thing they do on the track. You know, they go round and round, left and left and left. Matter of fact, seeing a wreck is why you're there. You want to see somebody's car go way up in the air, turn around about 18 times, hit the ground, and you want the guy to get out and put his hands in the air. And most of the time, that's what they do. Those cars are really good. But let's not act like we're there because we're crazy about the sport. Okay, we're not. We want to see somebody, okay, damn near get killed. That's what we want to see. And hockey, too. Most of us don't really care about hockey. We want to see who go fight. That's it. That's all. All right, tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. 6:52 in the morning. 10 years ago, President Barack Obama in London for an economic crisis summit, there's always crisis, sought to rally the top and emerging powers to help cope with the global downturn. Chanting protesters clashed with riot police in the British capital. 16 people, most of them oil workers, were killed when a Super Puma helicopter crashed into the North Sea off Scotland's northeast coast. In a college basketball blowout, Eastern Kentucky was leading Kentucky State 49-1 when the team stopped playing after 5 innings. Okay, that was basketball. That was baseball. Thought that was basketball. No. And they also agreed to cancel the second game of a scheduled doubleheader. No, I think obviously, if you ahead of somebody 49-1 in baseball, there's something wrong with that. There's something, you either have the best baseball players in the history of the world, or you got the worst team. Either or, that game should have been called, which is what they did. 49-1. How's that possible? Kentucky leading Kentucky State. You know what? Probably if you go back to the school book, that team didn't even make the book. Didn't even make the class book. Okay. And then on the class reunion, they were asked not to show up. Okay, really. If you get beat that bad, you should never ever say you went to this college. Okay. All right then, 5 years ago, mocking his critics, President Barack Obama boasted that that 7.1 million people had signed up for his health care law and said the debate over repealing the law is over. Not quite so, but I know, I feel you. Mary Barra anyway, Congress demanded answers from General Motors. New CEO Mary Barra, sound like that's what it looks like to me, on why the automaker had taken 10 years to recall cars with faulty ignition switches. Okay, switches linked to the time to 13 traffic deaths. Barra acknowledged that the company took too long to act. You know why? Because it was cheaper to pay off lawsuits than it was to bring the cars back. Okay, that's just the way it is. 1 year ago, writer and producer Stephen Bochco, known for creating the groundbreaking TV series Hill Street Blues. Remember that song? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, then I'll tell you when I come back. Died after a battle with cancer. He was 74. Authorities said the SUV that carried members of a large, free-spirited family to their death several days earlier may have been driven intentionally off a scenic California cliff. 6 adopted children were killed along with their parents. Yeah, I don't think I want to, join any group like that. And then just like over in where they're in Ghana, when David Jones or John Jones or Dave Jones, whatever his name was, he convinced a bunch of people to drink poison. Now, if God himself told me to drink it, I probably would drink it. But if Jones tells me to drink it, I'm probably not going to do that. Okay, I'm probably not going to. No, I'm not going to. No, that ain't going to happen. I'm just not going to drink it. Of course. I mean, that's not going to happen at all. Okay. I mean, now some people believe in being obedient, but now I will say one day, now I did go to one church who shall remain nameless. First time I've ever been in that kind of church. I said, okay. And they sent a bunch of things around. because it was communion time. But normally, when I take communion, it's like grape juice or something. I mean, I like to have the real wine. I mean, but they don't give you real wine. So they give you grape juice or something like that. Well, this happened to be absolutely clear. And so I drank it without hesitation. And I got to thinking, what if I just drank poison? Well, thank God it wasn't poison, and I drank anyway. But I ever since then, I thought, whoa, if it don't have no color in it, I better leave it alone, because I don't know what that is. Because strychnine is clear also. But anyway, I didn't do that again. I said, no, I gotta see where it comes from, before I be drinking it. Okay. Although, obviously, I'm here, didn't kill me, so good to go. But I did ask questions after that. I said, how come that stuff didn't have no color to it? And then they explained to me, and I said, okay. Because it was too late to ask all those questions once I had drinking the stuff. It was too late. So I just drink it anyway and hope for the best. But that reminds me of that guy, what's that, Guyana? Wherever that was, that guy had, Jim Jones. Jim Jones was the guy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Jim Jones had all these people drink this poison stuff. Okay, and I can't figure that out, why he did that. But then again, they may have thought that they was going to meet the 7 virgins and stuff like that, and that's good. Okay, but I don't think I could. Yeah, I don't want to meet virgins that important. Okay, I'm just saying that it's not that important. Anyway, it is 6:58 in the morning. Around 7:15 this morning, I got Father Dean and Brian Pettis. We're going to talk about things, and we're also going to talk about Dave Ramsey, who fired 12 people because they was having sex and they wasn't married. Okay, now we look at that and say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, I think there's a little problem with that. I mean, none of us are without sin, and I don't know if Dave Ramsey, but it's his company. So they signed a contract saying that they would do it. So I guess it's okay. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we'll be back.
Your WSFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Strong storms hit Alabama Wednesday. While it wasn't the tornado outbreak we've seen in the last 2 weeks, there was still damage reported. Most of it was in Walker County, but the storms also brought intense winds and rain to Central and South Alabama. The National Guard will continue their mobile vaccine clinics today and Friday. They'll be at the Alabama National Guard Armory in Tuskegee today. They'll also be at the Old Guard Maintenance Shop in Linden today. Friday, they'll be at Wilcox Central High School. All of these clinics will operate 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they're open to all eligible Alabamians free of charge. Life South Community Blood Center is putting out a new but familiar call for help. Life South says donors are needed right now to help our local hospitals reach a stable blood supply. All blood types are needed in what Life South calls an emergency need. To help, call Life South or visit the donation center on Carmichael Road in Montgomery. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, Montgomery, a Cumulus station. This is the CBS World News Roundup, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. There's been another mass shooting, the third in the U.S. in a little more than 2 weeks, this one in Southern California. Correspondent Omar Villafranca is at the scene at an office complex east of L.A.
Orange police say 4 people, including a child, were killed. The suspect was injured and later taken to a local hospital along with a female gunshot victim. Both are in critical condition. A gun was later found on the scene. No officers were injured during the shooting.
Police could have something to say about a motive at a news conference later this morning. Community members in Minneapolis are tuned in to former police officer Derek Chauvin's murder trial.
George Floyd is all of us, you know what I mean? It's just not just Minnesota, it's the whole world.
Cedric Steele owns a local restaurant. Others broke down on the witness stand.
Oh my God.
Including Charles McMillan, one of the first on the scene, and jurors saw new police body cam video. Correspondent Jamie Yukas.
After the ambulance left the scene that day, McMillan confronted Chauvin, and for the first time, we can clearly hear Chauvin.
Trying to control this guy because he's a sizable guy.
Yeah, looks like it's probably on something.
The jury also saw new security video of Floyd in the Cup Food store, where he allegedly used what appeared to be a counterfeit $20 bill.
Johnson & Johnson is promising to deliver COVID vaccine doses on time after a mix-up at a manufacturing plant that ruined nearly 15 million shots. Dr. Anthony Fauci tells CBS This Morning,
you do have checks and balances, and you see that, and that's the reason why the good news is that it did get picked up. And that's the reason nothing from that plant has gone into anyone that we've administered to.
Another manufacturer has issued an update. Correspondent Kemi McCormick.
A lot of researchers are looking into how long these vaccines protect us and whether we'll need booster shots. Pfizer said this morning its vaccine is more than 91% effective for at least 6 months. The company has been studying thousands of fully vaccinated people in the months after they got their second shots. The company says its vaccine also proved to be very effective against the variant first detected in South Africa.
The LA County Sheriff says they've pinned down the cause of Tiger Woods' SUV crash last month, but they won't say what, the black box data recorder revealed, because of privacy concerns. The barogenesis rolled down a steep embankment, leaving Woods with serious leg injuries. In Jerusalem, a Holy Thursday service at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Tradition says Jesus was buried and resurrected there. S&P futures up 14. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative, and their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Add hair loss to the list of lingering symptoms from the coronavirus.
Technically, it's nothing new. University of Virginia dermatologist Maggie Noland, MD.
For a long time, we've known that chronic severe illnesses can cause hair loss. And usually that occurs 3 months after an illness. And COVID is one of these illnesses that we're seeing more and more often causing hair loss. And it's something called telogen effluvium.
While losing 10 to 15% of one's treasured locks is worrisome, Noland says it will grow back. Dory's up for CBS News, Charlottesville.
It's going to cost more to wipe. Toilet paper brands like Cottonelle, Scott, and Viva say they'll raise prices in late June because of rising commodity costs. You can also expect increases for Kleenex tissues, personal hygiene items, and Huggies diapers. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Have you seen what's happening with the stock market? Record highs every day. How long can this possibly go on for? By the way, this is exactly what happened right before the 2000 dot-com bubbles burst. Remember that? Protect your savings in retirement by putting them into something safe like real gold and silver. I'm not talking about gold or silver stocks, but it's a real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. Now, the Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's so much easier than you think. So call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. The Oxford Gold Group is the only gold and silver company that I trust, and you should too. Get the Oxford Gold Investment Guide today. Learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how to have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-G.
They are the two sexiest fat men alive. Really fun. And you can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440, beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm here. I was just cogitating there for a second. on what my next move was. Okay. Now, I know you guys wondering what the announcement is, right? I know you wonder, but all things come to an end, right? You guys realize that. I mean, things begin and things end. I'm just saying. So, and it is my intention, to leave talk radio. That's right, it is, because, well, things come to an end, so that's just the way to go sometimes, So I shall be leaving, and you guys, well, that's just the way it goes sometimes. But anyway, now don't try to make me stay. Although there is one way I will stay. Yeah, there's one way I will stay. If my presence is missed, then I'll reconsider. But I don't think I'll be missed that much. I've been around a long time. Been doing this job for a long time, so I don't think I'll be missed. Pretty much, they pretty much know that. Although it has been freeing to be able to tell the truth and say the things that are on your mind and without fear of political correctness being part of the conversation. And I've never been politically correct anyway. My first sergeant used to tell me all the time, said, Elkins, yes, First Sergeant, you wouldn't know tact if you had one in your hand. And he was absolutely right. And what really brought that home one day was I walked into the first sergeant's office and I found out later on that he had some promotion papers. But knowing me, I said something that I had no business saying, and I saw him slide these papers back in the drawer there, and he told me a few years later, I decided you just wasn't ready at that moment. Because I don't know what I said. I was in Germany. I don't know what I said, but just talked a little too much. He never would believe, E.J. Thomas, he never would believe that old Sergeant Elkins would be on the radio getting paid to talk. But it's been a great ride. It's been a great ride. I've met people that I otherwise would have never met. I've been able to hold conversation with people that I never would have been able to hold conversation with people. So it has been, I've made friends. I made a couple of enemies, but mostly friends doing this job over the years. So I've been in Cumulus for, I don't know, I've been down here since 2003, 2001, somewhere around about 20 years, as a matter of fact. And I got to tell you, I'm just as motivated now as I was then because it's a fun job. You know what I mean? It really is. But, it's time to go. It's time to seek other horizons and go other places and do other things. And so I'm not mad at you guys. However, now there's one way I will stay. Okay, there's only one way. If I get 10 new callers today, then I'll stay. That'll let me know that, people love me or they don't like me. Now, if I get 10 new callers today, I'll rescind my resignation. Okay? Because that means that you want a brother around long. But if I don't get 10, well, this is my last month. So I just thought I'd let you know. Anyway, okay. I gotta get, who's this on the phone already? Come on, who's this? Yes.
Oh.
Today.
Huh?
Today.
Today.
Right.
Jim Jones in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Drinking. Couldn't find that word in my dictionary.
It's a northern word.
It's a northern word.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, I think it's an up-south word. Send that young person that won't leave home, send me to the movies, and while he's in the movie, you move.
Now that's a plan, but why can't we just make him move?
What's that?
Why don't we just make him move?
That's your project. Black business owners encouraging other business to get on that governor's case in Georgia for that old bigoted bill.
Aren't we tired of passing that lie around? Seriously, aren't we? Aren't black folks tired of being the professional victims of every movement that comes out? It's a lie about the bill. As a matter of fact, the president's state of Delaware have more prohibitive laws on it in New York than this bill has in Georgia. So aren't we tired of being that? Yeah. Okay, but aren't we tired of being professional victims? I just say duress. We just, every time something comes up, somebody put it out to hurt black folks. But at the same time, we killing each other with impunity across this nation, and we're not raising hell at all about that. We're raising hell about voting. What about the folks that get killed every day that would never vote? Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, and again, we'll see how that works out in court. But they're the same people that are suing President Trump's so-called lawyer back in a few months ago. And who cares? They're not going to get that kind of money no way. So, okay. Well, hey, listen, all things come to an end. Yeah. You don't have to set up a suicide watch. All right then. Good morning. Who's this? What makes you think it's an April Fool's joke? Okay. All right. All right. But, all things come to an end, right? Like which? Like, well, you want me to leave right now? Okay. Well, I can't leave right now. I mean, they paying a brother today, so I can't go no place right now. But okay. Well, if that's the way you feel, I'll be gone. All right, bro. Now, you got anybody you want to replace me with? Okay. I'll see if he wants to come up and take the job. Not a problem. Okay. All right, bro. I appreciate it. 7:14, and I gotta go after this call. Go to break. Good morning. I shouldn't have called the man. I shouldn't have called the man the C word. Well, hey, I had to try it, see whether or not it would work or not. Okay, all right, good, appreciate it. Okay, you guys don't believe me. Anyway, let us take a break. We'll come back. I'm supposed to have Father James Dean and Brian Pettis with me, so hopefully when we come back, we'll have those guys on the line or on my Facebook page or somewhere like that. We're gonna talk to them. Okay, so we'll be back. All right, we'll be back right after these messages. If I could say one word, wait. If I could say one word, wait. He's been good to me, kept me out of danger when.
Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by Churches.
Pull up to Churches today for boneless that's bringing it all. Bringing buttermilk marinated juiciness and all white meat deliciousness. Try our new Texas tenders and chicken sandwich with meat smoky honey sauce for just $3.99. Churches, bringing that down home clean with Upper Valley, participating location.
Well, the rain and storms are over with, and we've got absolutely no rain in the forecast for the next 7 days, but it is going to be much colder. A shot of winter this morning, starting in the upper 30s and low 40s with a stiff north wind, 10 to 20, gusting higher than that. It will stay windy all day. It will be entirely sunny, but we only get to about 57 with a stiff north wind. Tonight, we're down into the low 30s, widespread frost, mid 30s. Friday night to Saturday morning, we warm into the 70s for Eastern.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Sabry for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got an accident 85 southbound. It's shorter, so please use caution. Traffic backing up there for several miles. So coming in from the Auburn-Tallahassee area, you're going to run into trouble. That's 85 southbound.
You heard from Father Dean?
We've got an accident now reported by the authorities.
Hold on a second.
You see something else giving you trouble, contact.
Whoa. Ooh. Let me turn this down here. Okay. Okay. Oh, there we go. Hey, you heard from Father Dean? Okay, let me make sure I get this right here now. Okay. Oh, okay. Hey, you heard from Father Dean? I don't know why I can't hear you. Don't you know I would if I could? All right, hold on. Let me fix this.
Oval vaccine clinics.
All right, say something so I can see if I can hear you. Oh, let me see here now. Oh, never mind. I haven't added you to the stream yet. Don't worry about it.
A local hospital would reach a stable blood supply. All blood types are needed in what LifeSouth call.
He said he sent you a Facebook message.
Oh, now I hear you. Okay, now. All right then. What were you saying?
He said he sent you a Facebook message.
He did? Oh, well, let me see if he's over there then. I don't see him. Okay, there you. Let me see if I can find him someplace. Okay, because I sure don't see a message from him. Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is. Okay, there he goes. I got him. I got him. Okay. Now he should have it. All right, I'll be right back with you guys.
All right.
Yes, who I'm standing here. Okay, now, there's Father Dean. I see him. Okay, there he is. Right. Okay, now I got this contraption set up here, so we're gonna bring these guys on, and I'm going to engage them in intellectual conversation. At least one of us will have it.
Let's hope some intellectual conversation happens.
We can always try.
Yeah,
we can always try. Anyway, good morning on this Friday. Well, what's today? Thursday before Easter. Before Easter. So Easter's Easter's coming kind of quick this year, isn't it?
It's around the middle, actually. Sometimes it's actually in March, but it is just a little quicker than usual, just a little bit.
It's been very late the last 3 years.
Yeah,
is what it is. It's just been very late.
Well,
want to give the condolences to the family of Walking John DeVoe. I know he was a caller. He called us regularly, and he was a regular caller on the show. And I just wanted to make sure that we did say that we're praying for him and his family. So that he probably, if you don't know, he passed away. He's one of our callers. He passed away 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. Definitely keep him in our prayers.
He got stabbed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's matter of fact, a couple of days before the election, because he was running for city council again.
Wow.
There is some, Dave, and we get into other issues, but this is an important one. Dave Ramsey, who everybody knows who Dave Ramsey is, has come under fire for firing people because they engaged in premarital or extramarital sex with partners or whoever the case may be, and they signed a contract when they went to work for him. And I forgot exactly what he called it in the contract, but it's something about
the moral clause.
Right. Does a man have? I guess you can have a contract, whatever is in your contract you want to. Is that fair to the people that work for you? Though you think, well, how do we know? Aren't we? That's a pretty high standard, don't you think? To because we all have done something.
Mm. Yeah, it is a high standard. I guess people obviously that work for him know what they're getting into, and they know what they're signing. And obviously, he's a Christian-based ministry, and he wants Christian morality to be, the order of the day. Certainly, in the Catholic Church, we kind of expect that. I mean, if we got a lot of scandals when we haven't held up to the moral bar, though there is kind of a limitation on that too. I think. Obviously, if there's someone who is doing something publicly very, very wrong, like in our church, if somebody enters the same-sex union, they can't work for the church. So that's just antithetical to our beliefs. And that's a lifestyle that's not conducive, with our faith. It doesn't witness our faith. Now, people who fall, to sexual sin, which is not uncommon, obviously, that's a pretty high bar to set in any context, So, but like I said, they obviously knew what they're getting into and were probably committed to that too. But yeah, if we all are accountable for our sins, depends how minutely we go, we'd all be in trouble. Yeah, none of us would ever work again. So
I won't be working for Ramsey Solutions.
No.
Now, when you get a certain age, you ain't doing much anyway. So
yeah.
Well, there's also a factor of whether it's a public issue or not.
Yeah.
We had this in the military.
That's right.
There is a
code of conduct.
A code of conduct in the UCMJ that somebody that's you can court-martial somebody for having an affair, for adultery. Right. But one of the qualities to that is, does it impact the good order and discipline of the unit? So when we have a husband and wife in the same unit, and then one of them sleeps around with somebody else in the same unit, that's going to affect your good order and discipline. And I don't know the specifics of who he fired, or I don't know much specifics.
I didn't hear about this
of the story, but those kind of things, those kind of factors do. If if he's got an employee that's married but that's sleeping around with another employee, that affects his organization. So it's a tough thing.
That's a good distinction, Brian.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. I was reading. I know you're gonna be.
I was shocked if you read something. Yes.
I've been reading lately.
Great.
I was reading Revelation.
Okay.
Is Revelation, is it a book of symbolism, or do we take Revelation in the Catholic faith? Do we take it literal?
That's a good question. That's got to be the most debated book in the Bible, and that's caused more divisions within different denominations and splits and stuff like that. And so a lot of the Revelations, matter of fact, the very beginning of Revelation, at the very end, matter of fact, I get out my trusty Bible, but St. John, who wrote Revelation, says to reveal this because it is going to happen soon. So as he says in here, let's see. Oops, got to get the right letter here. Revelation, there we are. And like first chapter, like I said, he begins with the revelation of Jesus Christ, made known to John, servant. He said, blessed is the one who reads aloud. He said, for the appointed time is near. And then also at the end of the book, it says again, that this is going to happen soon. And so in the past, as a matter of fact, here we are, like I said, at the end of it, it says it's going to happen soon also. So he, in the past in Revelation, like I think Daniel in the Old Testament, something was revealed to him and God said, lock this up because it's not going to happen soon. It happened like 400 years in the future. But John, we believe a lot of that, well, some of the warnings to the seven churches, obviously was a current thing. But then a lot of the other stuff we believe was about the Roman Empire and the dangers and the impending attack they were going to do upon Jerusalem and the temple. And there was a Jewish historian, Josephus, who said that there was not one Christian in Jerusalem, when the Romans attacked and destroyed the temple, because they all knew it was coming because of the book of Revelation. So we believe that a lot of that stuff was about, impending dangers that were going to happen and have happened. And there's people who documented, the 7 heads and 10 horns and what, all the different symbols in there, speaking of the different Caesars, so there's people who explain that. There's a lot to it. But also there's, in all of scripture, anything even refers to the present time also has a future implication. So there certainly is things in there that are talking about future implications, but we would say most of the stuff in there is speaking about the impending problems that are coming.
It's a scary book.
Yeah, if you look at the symbolism and all that stuff, the 4 horsemen and all the other details, yeah, there are some very interesting, like I said, symbols and analogies. Yeah. It can be.
Right. Now, somebody was complaining the other day about people making, and it's been an age-old conversation, but in order to be, I think, canonized, is that what makes you a saint?
It is. That's the church recognizes someone as a saint. Yes.
So does that? I mean, that's taking an awful assumption on man's power to make people saints. Would you say that?
It certainly is. And as a matter of fact, in Matthew chapter 16, when Jesus identifies Peter, Peter identifies Jesus, of course, as the Son of God, and Jesus tells Peter, "You are Peter, upon this rock I'll build my church." And he tells him, I give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. So he gave him that authority, which is very, which is a great authority, right? But it's interesting because I've been to many, non-Catholic funerals, Protestant funerals, and just one a few weeks ago of a cousin of mine on my dad's side who's not Catholic. And whenever I go to a Protestant funeral, the minister always says they're in heaven. They're in heaven. So they're canonizing people left and right. The canonization process is very in depth, and there are 4 different stages to it. You have to have a couple of miracles attributed to the person's intercession that they're in heaven. So it is really a pretty amazing process, and it's not taken lightly. And there's a lot of information gathered. Any and every information. There's a devil's advocate, which is where that word comes from, that is actually speaking against the person. So, like I said, there's a lot involved with that. I mean, a lot of people talk about the only thing you need to do to get to heaven is die. You know, like I said, these funerals, Brian.
And one thing that I want to make sure everybody understands, that is for publicly declared saints.
Yeah.
We don't say that you have to prove, you have to have all that for you to have gone to heaven. It's just to say, for the church to say, we believe that this person is of value and heroic holiness, that these things go through. We don't make determinations, a personal determination on each and every person and use that kind of criteria. I think a lot of people might get that confused.
Looks like we got a guest here.
We do.
Mr. 334, what's up?
Hello. I feel honored to be here. I'm just listening and soaking in. I didn't honestly think you were going to let me in, Kevin, because you know how I am. No, this is wonderful. What was the topic of discussion this morning, Kevin?
Well, we haven't really got a topic. I thought
we run through a few of them so far.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's the way to go. It's just free flow.
It's stream of Kevin's consciousness. That's what it is. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
The stream of Kevin's consciousness. That's a name. Kevin's consciousness. That is a name. I've hung out with him personally a couple times, and What do you guys think? Since I'm here, and it's just sort of a free flowing state of conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm also a believer. Praise God, and
thank the Lord.
Yes. And what do you guys feel about? Because I am a cannabis advocate. I do take medications for anxiety and things like that. But what do you guys think? If you can speak on it, now that I got you on the spot, because a lot of people are scared to speak on it. But how do you guys personally feel about cannabis and its medicinal properties? Because I've seen testimonies from people that have come straight from surgery before they've went to the pharmacy to my shop to buy, some CBD to help them. And it's just really been a crazy thing to witness. And I just wanted to get you guys' take on it.
No, that's a great question. And medicine is to help us, with defects in our body, the things that happen in our minds. And so we prescribe medicine all the time that would be, we'd say, immoral to take, just on your own, but by doctor's prescription would be allowed, like morphine. You can't just take morphine or even painkillers. Painkillers are very powerful, and obviously people take them when they're in pain, but then sometimes they get hooked on them, of course, and then it's very difficult to get off one, I understand. So any kind of, like I said, medicine under the care of physician is, we would say is allowed, and so even things that aren't allowed otherwise, but for medicinal purposes. So that would be it. Now, then you have, doctors, well, they prescribe pain medicine like that. One doctor was arrested because he was prescribing pain medicine like crazy for people, in any kind of situation. It wasn't, wasn't good medical practice. So you're going to run into that with everything. So, but medical, marijuana, we wouldn't have a problem with that.
Well, here's the thing. I was explaining it to someone yesterday. There was a part in the Bible where I think I don't want to misquote the Bible, especially not right now.
Yeah. That's like, yeah.
But there, was it Daniel that protested when the king made prayer illegal?
Many times that happened, but Daniel, and then you got Azariah, Mishael, and
yeah. So it's almost as if like when something has medicinal properties, and I'm speaking on it because I'm in Alabama and it's definitely illegal here, supremely illegal. And someone, and there's a moral conflict that I have as a believer because I want to obey the laws of the land, but it really feels like there's a stop sign on the interstate, and I'm wondering when do I disobey the law of the land for someone's comfort and help them? Like I've literally had a 65-year-old or a 64-year-old dying African American woman with a wig on, never smoked a day in her life, look at me and say, honey, like, would that look like I'm dying? I just want to go out comfortably.
Yeah.
You're touching on a couple of the different things here. One of the things you're talking about is a law should be obeyed unless it cannot be obeyed. So, for example, your civil disobedience is not appropriate until it is required. Okay, and so when you look at Daniel, he was banned from conversation with his God. Okay, that's not something we can, and essentially taking away his consciousness, his ability to make conscious decisions. Okay, that's not going to ever be a legitimate law. Okay, any law that especially in America, any law that takes away things that are required for you is not a legitimate law. Then that raises the open question about intoxicants. Okay, because the question about intoxicants is not limited to cannabis. It's you have harder drugs on one side, and you have counties up in northern Alabama that ban alcohol sales. Sure. So there's the spectrum here. As far as whether they're good or not, I'm not the guy to ask because I have some personal feelings on that point that come from my history. But are you at the point where you cannot survive without cannabis? Yeah. Or are there other ways that you can have the relief? If there are other ways you can have the relief, then the disobedience of the law is not necessarily a mandate.
Sure.
So
yeah, and there are a lot of palliative drugs. Right. You're right, Brian.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's very complicated. And I know a lot of the arguments about whether it being addictive or not, and or whether it's more addictive than some of those palliative drugs.
Well, if someone's dying, obviously,
right,
it's a good thing to give them some comfort. We don't want people just to suffer.
I think if you're dying, I think you should have. Personally, it might not be morally right, but things.
Well, we can't even with somebody that's dying, you can't necessarily say everything is legal because you're dying.
Sure.
Well, then all of a sudden everybody's going to be dying. Well, we're all dying.
Yeah, we're all dying anyway. Yeah, we're all dying.
I'm not comfortable with that fact just yet, but
I appreciate you joining us this morning, and
thank you.
Hear from you. Okay, Mr. 334.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Yeah, I think I got somebody on the phone. Good morning, who's this?
Elkin.
Yes.
That's what we call in sociology physician-assisted suicide. Physician-assisted suicide. And someone's in pain and one of the physician is to kill them so they won't be out of pain.
Only if they are taking a drug to induce death. So if you give somebody that is dying morphine so that the pain is less, that's not physician-assisted suicide. If you're giving them strychnine so that they die faster, that would be a physician.
Or a dose of morphine that would be lethal.
Or a dose of morphine that would be fatal.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what is the question exactly about physician-assisted suicide? The morality of it, or what was the?
I think he was saying that when
that's what normally comes. But let me ask you this: if murder is against the law of God, does that apply to police officers as well?
Of course, murder is the taking of an innocent human life, and so and there's some things that are judgment calls. Like I know the police are under fire, of course, and of course up in Minnesota you got the case going on now, which obviously is going to be watched by the whole nation. And like if somebody breaks into my house and I can't see them, it's at night, and I have a gun and I shoot them, the law will not hold me accountable. It would say self-defense, even if that person, maybe they were just looking for some food or something like that, and I didn't know that. And so it would be according to God's going to judge us according to our conscience, what I knew, and what danger I thought I was in, even if I wasn't truly in that danger. They had no weapon and they were just, like I said, going to go to the refrigerator. So, but the law has to judge according to the actions in the exterior. And, and also it does ask intent. That is an important part of the law too. So, in that case, but anybody, like if a police officer, like guy running away, got shot in the back so many times, yeah, that's murder. I mean, in the sense that he was not in danger, and he took that innocent man, he took that man's life, and he was innocent in that instance. It wasn't like he was coming in with a knife or anything like that. So yeah, murder is wrong. Like I said, the intentional taking of an innocent human life is always wrong.
And I'm going to ask you this right here. If we are not to make, in somewhere, I don't know where I've heard this, but it says we're not supposed to make any images of God. Have you heard anything like that?
Well, yeah, in the Old Testament, it talks about, of course, graven images, but also
like the Catholic Church has so many statues and things that look to the image of Jesus. Then you have the Black Madonna that a lot of people don't know about.
Right.
And I'm just, how do you guys put all that into one?
Okay, that's a good question. In the Old Testament, in the commandments, God says you're not making graven images to worship. And so, yeah, idolatry is wrong. Worshiping graven images is wrong. But even in the Old Testament, God, when the people were disobedient, complaining against God and Moses in the desert, he sent the seraph serpents to bite them, and they repented, and Moses was told to make a bronze serpent, put it on a staff, and whoever looks at it will be healed. The Ark of the Covenant had angels on top of it. So God said to make these images, but they weren't to be worshipped, obviously. And so, but in the Old Testament, yeah, we could not image God, but with Jesus, we could, so God became man, took on flesh. And so in taking on flesh, we know what God looked like, in the flesh. So there have been images of Christ since then. And also of people in the same way that cameras make images of people. We put them all over our house, and those are images of people. They're 2D, two-dimensional, not three-dimensional, but it's still images of people. So we would have to really ban all that stuff. But the intention was, of course, not to worship any, image or idol or statue or, anything besides God. Yeah.
The pagan religions believe that the statues themselves had power.
Yeah.
And that's what that commandment is saying. No, the statue itself does not have power. Don't believe that the statue has power. Believe in God, who you cannot see.
Yeah.
Good morning, on here.
Good question.
I can't hear him.
But obviously not, because we got them looking like many different colors and everything, rather than, and that's something to debate in the next, in the future. But
can you start your question again?
What was the first part?
I didn't hear the beginning of the question.
Study with Dr. Kevorkian.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead. Hey, do me a favor, Marty. Start the question though, because they couldn't hear you.
Still can't hear him.
Can't hear it, Kevin.
And if we know what God looks like in the flesh, why is it that we have different depictions at different churches of what he looks like? He wasn't blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah, certainly.
And then to follow that up, you all were talking about assisted suicide and things of that nature, but how does that compare to the trouble that Dr. Kevorkian got in by assisting suicide?
Right. See, we believe assisted suicide is wrong. I mean, you can help in palliative care, to get ease of pain, but not to kill someone. That's still their murder, and doctors take an oath to heal, not to kill. That's, that we believe that's totally against the medical profession, and against morality. We can't just take a life. The other question you asked was about, what was that about, Brian? The images of God, the images, yeah. And that is, of course, we had no cameras back in Jesus' day, so we have no pictures of him. And God became man, a man like us in all things but sin. So people picture him in their culture oftentimes as they are pictured. It's not, yeah.
I want to say this now. We don't need pictures of the commandments. We just read them in the Bible in Exodus. And then we don't need pictures of God. We just read it in the Bible in Revelation. But conveniently, we choose to ignore that because he was a bronze hair. His skin was that of the region, which was a darker skin. And everything.
Yeah, certainly.
I don't think you'll find.
In certain churches, appearing to be white with blonde hair and blue eyes and pale.
Well, I can tell you all the statues at St. Bede don't have any color to them at all. They are all the same. They're all a monotone color. So you can't.
It's wood,
I can't
isn't
say.
it?
Yeah, they are wood. I couldn't tell you whether or not they have.
I guarantee you, if your parishioners happen to show up to church one day and he's looking like he's darker and his hair is of wool and is not straight and eyes are not blue, I guarantee you're going to have a hard time selling that to your parishioners.
Nah, I don't
think so.
Yes, you will.
Okay. First of all, half of our parishioners are Hispanic. No, listen to me. Half of our parishioners are Hispanics from Central America, different countries, and they would have no problem with that depiction at all. And our parish has been richly rewarded by that racial diversity. So
let me back up and say that I don't know anything about your church, but I'm talking about the overall broader spectrum here in America. Because I've been to Italy, been to Rome, and I saw where they actually had the true depiction of what Jesus looked like and everything. But yet, conveniently here in our country and all in some of your churches, not yours, because I don't know anything about your church or what have you. Most of your churches, they depict him as a blonde hair, blue eye, white guy.
We don't have any blonde-haired Jesus in any Catholic church I've ever seen. No blonde-haired Jesus. I mean, in other words, we know he was Middle Eastern. There's no blonde-haired Jesus in the Catholic Church anywhere I've seen.
Most depictions of Jesus are
like I said, I've been in a lot of Catholic churches. Yeah.
Most modern depictions of Jesus are somehow related to the image of the Shroud of Turin. There's some type of linkage to that being and of course, I think it's a miraculous image. So I think it may be, in fact, a photograph of Jesus, if you will. But when the Shroud of Turin was discovered, it became a standard for how Jesus was imagined throughout all of Europe. So that's part of where that came from.
Anyway.
A first alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's up?
We had real trouble hearing that guy.
Yeah, it was. And Kevin, when he turned it, he switched something and it made it louder. So somehow it was not coming through.
Whose resumes fit your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Well, the rain and storms are over with, and we've got absolutely no rain in the forecast for the next 7 days. But it is going to be
it's nice to have the rain finished.
Morning, starting in the upper 30s,
especially for the Easter Vigil and the Easter fire.
It will stay windy all day. It will be entirely sunny. Kevin get to about 57.
What's that?
Vicky just said he shouldn't be playing David Haas.
Saturday morning.
I said, well, unfortunately, if Kevin doesn't follow that rule.
I wasn't even listening to what it was. So I just
Montgomery.
Well, being a choir director, she has a
ear. I know, and his problems
for all that stuff.
Yeah, I know it.
1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. The good news continues on this April Fool's Day. There are no accidents being reported right now by the authorities. Looking at your traffic flow map, traffic moving smoothly into and through the Tri-County area. You keep listening, we'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. If you're looking for a Camry, a Corolla, a RAV4, they're at Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter. They're going to save you some money. Reinhardt Used Car Supercenter. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's.
If you would like, that would be fun.
Just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pro today at 239.
That Vicky behind you.
Yeah.
All right.
Kitchen dreams come true.
Father says, hey.
Yep, of course.
Is your guaranteed source for quality, affordability, and customer satisfaction.
Oh man.
Will deliver your
One day I'll get her in on this.
What's that?
One day I'll get her in on this.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Then all the questions from Kevin will go to her.
Yeah.
It'll be about why.
And they'll be about you.
Yourself be oppressed.
They'll be about you too.
They'll be about me.
Yeah. What's he really like?
I'm not worried. I've got her paid off well.
Yeah.
Stock market record highs every day. How long
Man.
can it go on for? By the way, this is exactly what happened right before the 2000 dot-com bubbles burst. Remember that?
No, my parents were both alcoholics. So
like real gold
Question
and
about
silver.
legalization of
We're talking about
cannabis
gold and silver
and other
stocks.
drugs.
Real
Just,
gold and
I'm
silver,
not
you can
necessarily an
gold
objective
in the
viewer
home.
on that.
Right, I got you.
I don't drink. I'm one of the rare Catholics that don't drink.
I drink a little wine on occasion.
Yeah.
That really, I've
Know about owning real
never
gold.
has been a big deal. Yep.
If I truly believe that the Bible said that drinking alcohol was immoral, I would be on that train immediately, just from personal experience.
Yeah, right.
But I don't believe it says that.
No, of course not. It's funny, you know, I took a couple classes during the summer one year in Mobile, 2 at Spring Hill and 1 at Mobile College. And Mobile College is a Baptist college. You know, it's called University of Mobile now. So anyway, just above Mobile. And so I was in class and the teacher went off on some sermon one day, you know. This is a history class, but he just went off on some sermon about the cross. And it's really actually pretty good. So I don't know. So we got in discussion like during the break. It's like a 3-hour class, cram class. And so we're talking about alcohol use or something like that, or gambling. And the teacher said, I think there's something in the Bible against gambling. And I said, yeah, I think it's next to that passage that says you can't drink. And then a lady in front of me told me that Jesus used unfermented, you know, of course, grape juice. So it was not alcoholic. So anyway, and I told her, I explained.
Well, I wonder what refrigerator he put it in to say that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Put your money where the miracles are. Support your children's miracle network.
Man.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with heart failure, my mother remains strong. Because without strength, you lose hope. Together, we will rise above heart failure.
To help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
For most of Alabama, ticks and mosquitoes are more abundant from late spring to early fall. If you spend time outdoors,
40 seconds.
Outside, you need to be aware of the diseases they can carry to help protect yourself and
We got about 40 seconds.
Got it.
diseases. For more information and tips on how to protect you and your family from these pests, visit our website at alabamapublichealth.gov. Again, visit our website at alabamapublichealth.gov.
He is the voice of the conservative millennial.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
All right, on the phone from their palatial mansions where they happen to live is Father James Dean, who is the head teacher at the it's called Saint something.
St. Joseph Catholic Church in Prattville, Alabama.
I wanted to say that. You know, I'm from St. Joe County in South Bend, Indiana, so I figured.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, interesting. At least we've got a
Kevin,
conversation.
can I give a quick shout out? And that is, I heard one of the commercials was Children's Miracle Network. My brother, Barry, does a big banquet every year in Montgomery for the Miracle League, which is a phenomenal organization to help handicapped children. You know, they play baseball as best they can, and it's really just a joyful event. But anyway, he does a banquet every year in Montgomery, and Tom Glavin is the speaker this year. So anyway, that's coming up in May, but anybody's interested, I'm sure you can find that information out.
Okay. Well, listen, have him give us a call and let's get him on the air for a little bit.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, see if we can do that. One question, I guess we don't have a whole lot of time, and we don't have a whole lot. Well, never mind. I'm not even going to ask my. I'm going to go to the phone.
Okay.
I would never get my question. Good morning. Who's this? You're on the air.
Good morning, gentlemen. How you doing today?
Fine.
Good. Good to hear your guest on there with you as well.
Yeah, they can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, it seems like we've kind of morphed off into a conversation of what Jesus looked like.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah. You know, the only thing we can actually firmly say is how did Scripture describe Jesus? Yes, he was very plain. There was nothing distinguishing about him. He wasn't a supermodel. He didn't look like a fashion hair expert. Didn't look like somebody that was never walked a mile in his life. And so, me being a white American, I would think he would look similar to what people in that culture today look like. Olive skinned.
Yeah.
Dark hair.
Yeah.
But I would also say, you know, there were two false sins that the Pharisees described Jesus as committing: being a drunkard and a glutton.
Yeah.
I've never seen a skinny glutton. So I would even go so far, maybe at the time before Jesus began his ministry, he was pudgy. Maybe when he was doing his 3-year ministry, wasn't eating as much, maybe became skinny. I mean, we don't know. We also know we can look at how the book of Isaiah described Jesus. No, so I don't look at him as some white European, blonde hair, blue eyes. That's the furthest thing from my image of Jesus. But here's the thing. My salvation is not bound up in what my mental image is of Christ and Savior.
Yep.
And folks that really start fixating on that, they want to try and put him into some kind of racial category. They have completely missed the boat of why Christ was sent to this earth.
Yeah, certainly.
And that's just my 2 cents, guys.
But the thing is, on the idea of the glutton and the drunkard, I would just say they were comparing him to John the Baptist, and so I would not say he was even pudgy. I would say he was, because he obviously didn't overeat, which is a sin, and so and he didn't he didn't abuse alcohol, so he wasn't a drunkard, even though they called him that, just because he drunk anything. Because John wasn't drinking, any liquor. He was probably in a sin.
But remember, he also did survive 40 days in the desert without eating or drinking. So
yeah.
He could have been a little pudgy on the front.
I don't know who would have done that, even a little pudgy. It would have been without God's help.
It's a miracle because you got.
And with that, we have to get ready to go. So we need a good prayer for you guys. We got about a minute and a half left. So
well, any other questions, Kevin? Real quick, boom.
I got some, but we ain't got enough time.
These are the big 3 days of the church year: the Triduum, the Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Easter Sunday. Everything is kind of wrapped up in this, and this is the hinge. That's why we're here. Yeah, if Christ hadn't risen from the dead.
Call me tomorrow if you got time and give us a Easter prayer. But right now we got to get out.
All right, man, I got to send the Holy Spirit upon all who are listening to help them to know Him, love Him, and serve Him in this life. Be happy with Him and eternally in the next. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
And don't forget, tomorrow, just come on and just give me a call. Come on, and let's at least get us into the weekend with the right frame of mind.
God bless, Kevin.
All right. Hey, you seen Barron lately?
I saw his wife a few weeks ago.
Okay, good. I just want to make
I didn't see him, though. Yeah, but I'm sure he's there.
All right. Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thank you, as always, for joining us.
You bet.
God bless.
God bless.
Now, your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Strong storms hit Alabama Wednesday. While it wasn't the tornado outbreak we've seen in the last 2 weeks, there was still damage reported. Most of it was in Walker County, but the storms also brought intense winds and rain to central and south Alabama. The National Guard will continue their mobile vaccine clinics today and Friday. They'll be at the Alabama National Guard Armory in Tuskegee today. They'll also be at the Old Guard Maintenance Shop in Linden today. Friday, they'll be at Wilcox Central High School. All of these clinics will operate 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they're open to all eligible Alabamians free of charge. Life South Community Blood Center is putting out a new but familiar call for help. Life South says donors are needed right now to help our local hospitals reach a stable blood supply. All blood types are needed in what Life South calls an emergency need. To help, call Life South or visit the donation center on Carmichael Road in Montgomery. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440, the home of Sean Hannity. What makes America great are its people. WLWI AM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Hopeful news from Pfizer about its COVID vaccine. The company says shots have been 100% effective in preventing illness among trial participants in South Africa, where a more contagious variant was first detected. Dr. Anthony Fauci tells CBS this morning.
It just means they did a test and the results of the test are really very encouraging. Something that we suspected all along, that even though you don't have a vaccine directed specifically against the variant, you can get some pretty good protection.
Pfizer's revised the overall effectiveness of its vaccine downward from 95 to 91%. New study from the UK shows people recovering from the coronavirus have shown increased rates of organ damage, including the heart, kidneys, and liver. CBS's Lisa Mateo.
Scientists tracked nearly 50,000 patients in a control group several months after being discharged from hospitals. Records showed nearly a third of those recovering from the virus were readmitted. Differences in rates of multi-organ dysfunction were greater for coronavirus patients under the age of 70 as well as minorities.
Police haven't released a motive yet in a deadly shooting at an office building complex near Los Angeles. 4 people were killed, including a child. Correspondent Omar Villafranca is in the city of Orange.
The cops are running right there. Look at that.
Bystander video shows police officers swarming this office building on Lincoln Avenue. The video appears to take place after the shooting had stopped. Police are later seen dragging a bloodied person out the front door.
They say the shooter was critically wounded. Jurors will begin day 4 on the job at former police officer Derek Chauvin's murder trial. WCCO TV's Christiane Cordero from Minneapolis.
They have seen George Floyd's death so far at least 6 different times from 6 different angles. We know it has taken a physical toll on at least one of the jurors.
That person needed to step out for what was described as a stress-related reaction. The MLB kicks off a second season of pandemic-era baseball today. CBS's Steve Futterman.
The biggest difference between this season and last season will be the fans. Every game will have some fans, although the number of fans depends on where the game's being played. Now, last year, the season was shortened to just 60 games.
What are they doing? Standing at the church, they got to be tried. What you say? Oh, they got to be tried. Say it one more time. They got to be tried. Oh, just look at the people.
Here's up 16. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
I'm Joel Clark, a SelectQuote agent, with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and he can't take it with him. Well, I went to work and found Ray, who's 40 and takes medication to control his high blood pressure, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. That's way more coverage for a lot less than what he was paying. If SelectQuote didn't shop for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote and to find out how much you can save, call 1-800-206-9977. That's 1-800-206-9977. 1-800-206-9977. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
A lot of us aren't in the mood for a joke today. CBS's Elise Preston.
No time for April Fool's antics. According to a new survey from payment platform Affirm, more than half of Americans would prefer canceling the day of pranks this year. Those same people also weighed in on surprises in general. Respondents said the worst ones are money related, like a higher than expected bill or owing taxes after filing. Still, nearly 7 in 10 said they anticipate a tax refund this year.
New at-home COVID tests will be on drugstore shelves soon. The FDA's granted emergency authorization to 2 do-it-yourself antigen tests from Abbott, which you'll be able to buy without a prescription. Results come up in about 15 minutes. The drug manufacturer says they'll ship out over the next few weeks, may also be available online. The price, not yet determined. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Have you seen what's happening with the stock market? Record highs every day. How long can this possibly go on for? By the way, this is exactly what happened right before the 2000 dot-com bubbles burst. Remember that? Protect your savings in retirement by putting them into something safe like real gold and silver. I'm not talking about gold or silver stocks, but into real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. Now, the Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's so much easier than you think. So call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. The Oxford Gold Group is the only gold and silver company that I trust, and you should too. Get the Oxford Gold Investment Guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how to have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
Big money. 25K workday payday. It's all about money. It's your national keyword to win $100. Text SHOP, S-H-O-P, SHOP to 95819. Standard messaging rates apply. Don't text and drive. We'll text back to confirm your entry. If you win, you'll be entered to win a grand prize of $25,000. It's the 25K workday payday on News Radio 1440.
That's right. That is right. Don't forget to text SHOP too. That's right. You can win up to $25,000. Text SHOP, okay, to 95819. 95819. Okay. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and it is 6 minutes after the hour of whatever time it is, 8 o'clock. Hope you guys have a great time this morning. I am. There was an article in the paper yesterday, and another thing too. For those who want to know, John DeVoe will be laid to rest on the 12th of April. 12th of April. Okay. Now here's a story. I think it's going to be at Lilly Baptist, I believe, where the service is going to be. But hopefully some of his family will call us and give us more information on that. Folks shot last night in Montgomery. It's almost get to the point that it's not even worth mentioning anymore. Where you just got to hide out in your house and hunker down and make sure you got your powder dry and protect yourself, because it's getting crazy out there. But here is a story that made yesterday's Montgomery Advertiser that we're not talking a whole lot about. Jerry Lett was according to the article, an ideal parole candidate, his lawyer said, but the state parole board will consider sending him back to prison due to their error. A few days before Christmas, when Jerry Lamar Lett's parole officer called and asked him to come by the house. The Alabama Parole and Pardons and Parole in September granted him an early parole, requiring him to check with his parole officer once a week and begin paying back his $60,000 fine, which I don't know how you're going to get that, stemming from a drug conviction. I mean, if a guy had money, he probably wouldn't be in prison. $60,000 fine. How are you going to get it? Lett was in perfect compliance. The 52-year-old honorably discharged veteran has spent a few months back in the free world lining up VA medical procedures he needed. He came and met me at his daughter's house where I live, Lett said. He looked like he had been crying. He told me, "You didn't do anything wrong." So what they're doing is, this young man, I think he lives in Dothan. What they're doing, they paroled him in October. The parole board says he needs to be rearrested and incarcerated because they now say he did not serve enough time. Okay. All right then. So it seems to me, because they made a mistake, they're going to now it seems to me that the prison did its job. This guy evidently honorably discharged veteran, and that don't mean you don't do things wrong, because sometimes you do. But it would seem to me that if they let him, he didn't break out. They said, okay, we're gonna let you go. Now I've tried to call up people that represent him on this case, and yet I've yet to see if I've called Montgomery Advertiser, trying to talk to the guy, call everybody, and seem to not be able to find anybody. The state's parole board said Lett is now ineligible for parole due to a technical error on their part. Despite his full compliance with the parole conditions, Lett was told that the Bureau failed to notify the Alabama Attorney General's office ahead of his early parole hearing. when they say nullifies the board's decision. The Alabama Bureau of Pardons and Parole director said that the board erred in allowing a hearing in the first place under stricter early parole guidelines established in 2019. Now, both parties agree Lett did everything that has been asked of him in prison and when he got out. Lett's legal team said he is now compelling legal interest. He now has a compelling legal interest to remain on parole. Here's my problem with these people. What is the purpose of prison? Is the purpose of prison to change your life, rehabilitate you? It sounds to me that they have done this. That this guy he made some mistakes and he's done what they asked him to do. So they brought him up for parole and they said, okay, we're gonna let you out. Now they come back months later after you're trying to get your life together. Well, we got to change back to you. How much time is enough? If you let them out, that's like me going up to the store and they got a price on a item that says $2. Oh, but when I get up there, oh, well, we made a mistake. But normally when we make the mistake, we let you have it for $2. What is the purpose of parole? What is the purpose of prison? It seems like to me that 52-year-old man, he's not a danger to anybody. He didn't kill anybody, just drugs. Isn't that the thing we're trying to fix right now? It just doesn't seem like to me, and these probably a bunch of Christian folks down there too, who swear them down to go to church on Sunday, and we want to take a guy who we've given a shot and now put him back because they made a mistake. I'm sorry. Who in the hell's in charge of that place? Somebody, please tell me. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Tell you, it said you're talking about the prison. John DeVoe funeral would be at Pilgrim Rest.
Okay, Pilgrim. Okay.
Or the Elder Church.
All right.
I think Reverend Jordan going to preach it, but not at Lily Baptist.
Oh, okay.
Informed that he's going to be on, like you're right, on the 12th at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock on the 12th at Pilgrim Rest. All right now.
All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
And wait, I just get sick when you hear these mothers and fathers call and tell you about what's going on. If you have any kind of heart or passion, and they do all, they ask them to do in and get out, and they let them go. Some guys have been out for 12 years, and maybe they do not kill or murder nobody. Maybe they didn't do something or somebody lied on them. Hell, Kevin, they take them and send them back to prison. But it's going to be a thing like you go to the county jail for 45 days or go back to prison and stay 45 days and get back out. That's where your overcrowding comes from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You'd be able to talk to them and put a monitor on their leg and send them back home. You wouldn't have no overcrowding. Like you always say, the ones supposed to be on drugs, why should you send them to prison? They really need drug treatment, and they really don't have a real drug treatment program.
Well, what I wonder is that you put a guy in prison, you fine him $60,000, you let him out on parole, he can barely get a job to take care of himself, and now how he's supposed to pay $60,000 back? I mean, how do you do that? Yeah, well. Yeah. Well, you got. I guess you got to be willing to do. I guess almost got to be willing to go to jail in order to get somebody's attention. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's hope not. Hey, appreciate it. Take one more call, then I gotta take a break. Good morning. Who's this? Let me see if I got that right here. Oh, must have lost him. Ooh, lost him. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Well, my bad. I was looking at the wrong buttons there right quick. And since I got that going on now, I might as well Okay, I might as well take a break right now and we'll be back.
Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by NBC's Law and Order, Organized Crime. Big news, Law and Order fans. After 10 long years, Stabler is finally coming home. Christopher Maloney returns in Law and Order, Organized Crime. Part of an epic Law and Order crossover event. SVU, followed by Law and Order, Organized Crime. Tonight on NBC.
Well, the rain and storms are over with, and we've got absolutely no rain in the forecast for the next 7 days, but it is going to be much colder. A shot of winter this morning, starting in the upper 30s and low 40s with a stiff north wind, 10 to 20 gusting higher than that. It will stay windy all day. It will be entirely sunny, but we only get to about 57 with a stiff north wind. Tonight, we're down into the low 30s, widespread frost, mid-30s. Friday night to Saturday morning, we warm into the 70s for Easter.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got an accident reported 85 southbound at the East Boulevard, so keep your eyes open for that. Outside of that, we're looking pretty good on 65. 567-9000, that's the number to call. MCS to refinance your home mortgage, get cash out, or to get pre-approved to buy. MCS in Wetumpka, just a phone call away. NMLS 232876. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's Knows. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's Knows.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Strong storms hit Alabama Wednesday. While it wasn't the tornado outbreak we've seen in the last 2 weeks, there was still damage reported. Most of it was in Walker County, but the storms also brought intense winds and rain to central and south Alabama. The National Guard will continue their mobile vaccine clinics today and Friday. They'll be at the Alabama National Guard Armory in Tuskegee today. They'll also be at the Old Guard Maintenance Shop in Linden today. Friday, they'll be at Wilcox Central High School. All of these clinics will operate 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they're open to all eligible Alabamians free of charge. Life South Community Blood Center is putting out a new but familiar call for help. Life South says donors are needed right now to help our local hospitals reach a stable blood supply. All blood types are needed in what Life South calls an emergency need. To help, call Life South or visit the donation center on Carmichael Road in Montgomery. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
Hey y'all, it's Cassidy and Cody Wolf here at American Open More. We have some exciting news to share with you.
No, not what you're thinking. Nobody's yet. But we did just launch our newest line called Wolf Brothers Furniture.
This line consists of 6 collections, including power and manual sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners.
Quality is key here at American Open More, so we designed these collections with solid wood frames and high-density foam.
Last but not least, whether they're covered in microfiber or leather, they all come with a 5-year warranty.
Stop by and see us at American Open More. Good morning, Alabama.
How'd you sleep last night?
Hey folks, it's Ken and Wolf, More Boys Bedding, where we don't want to just sell you a mattress, we want to teach you how to buy the right mattress to improve your life. Shop the winter clearance sale going on now, where you will find twin mattresses for $99, queen mattresses for $399, and up to $1,000 off qualifying Jameson sets. Save on Alabama-made bunk beds for $299. Hurry, these deals won't last long. Don't count sheep. Get a great night's sleep. More Boys Betting next to American Ocean More.
I love being a part of Action Team. It helps me help other people. It helps me feel good.
Being a part of the team always feels good. Go for it. Don't even hesitate.
For more than a decade, Major League Baseball players and action teams of high school students have been working together to train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
Once you get there and realize how much you can change someone's life, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Just that simple act that takes 5 or 10 minutes of your time is making a difference and is transforming someone else's life.
All-star Giancarlo Stanton and Chris Capuano join action team captains to make a difference in their communities, and you can too.
Just try it. Just go to one event, one action team event.
If we all show up together, that's what it's all about. It's not just one person, it's a group, it's a team.
It's been incredibly rewarding for me. It will just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
For more information, go to actionteam.org.
The Rush Limbaugh Show.
And these people look absolutely pathetic.
After Rick and Bubba, it's the EIB Network at 11 a.m. And it's only on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
I feel so bad. Yeah, I feel so blue. I got to make it right for everyone concerned. Even if it's me, if it means just for me, what's getting back?
Yeah, in October 2012, when he was pulled over in Houston County and arrested after police found cocaine in his car, he pleaded guilty to cocaine trafficking, and that's only half the story. Lett was struggling with addiction at the time, his attorney said, after a voluntary combat deployment to join Operation Desert Storm, and a second career as a Dothan firefighter left him with significant health issues. Lett said he suffered from post-traumatic stress syndrome, or we are otherwise known as PTSD. Said, I'm dealing with the best way I can. He wrote a letter to the sentencing judge. So he's been there a while already. In 2018, Lett qualified for early parole hearing, putting his case on the board's docket when a sweeping bill to reform the board and parole requirements passed by the legislature in 2019, Lett was still qualified. His attorney said in a statement, when his hearing came up in 2020, Lett served a mandatory minimum sentence of 3 years and held a clean prison record, with Alabama Department of Corrections officers testifying on his behalf of the parole hearing. He made multiple commendations from his military service and adamant about completing any class possible inside prison. So he does what he needs to do, but for some reason they don't think he spent enough time. What the hell is prison for? Is it just for free labor, or is it to rehabilitate people? Okay, guy got PTSD. That's what the record says. Anyway, he served his nation. I think people like that all deserve a break. I mean, while he's sitting there getting shot at some places, y'all sitting over here and then warring through your office. And here's the problem. And here's the problem with legislatures sometimes. You sit there making $50,000 a year, eating shrimp, eating Chinese rice, whatever y'all eat down there, making laws that you think have no consequence to them. Seriously, you sitting there, give me that one. I think we need them criminals in jail for a long time. And you don't realize those are human beings' lives that we are playing with. Everybody makes mistakes. As a matter of fact, if we really know the truth, hell, we'd probably put half the legislators in jail for the crap they've done. And I know some crap some of them done. I'm gonna leave that alone. 860-1440, 825 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Yes.
Yeah, I heard your announcement earlier this morning. I was in shock. And then somebody said it might be an April Fool's joke.
Okay. It was April. It was April Fool's. It was April Fool's. Yeah. Yeah, it was April Fool's.
Africa, right?
Yeah.
And he, just before 9/11, he went back home to get his wife. Couldn't get back, but he had got a weapon that Shaka Zulu used to carry, and he actually developed short sword so he could get up close to kill his foes and whatever. He cut it was called a na kari, and I have one, and I was going to bring it to you if you were quitting, so you would have it and fall on your sword.
No. Yeah. 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 Well, if yeah, they got to throw me out. No, not yet. Not today. All right. Appreciate it. 8:26 in the morning. Good morning. Who's this? How you doing?
With slavery, and the Alabama Department of Corrections is a criminal enterprise. And so unless we look at it at that, we're not going to understand the nature of what it is that we're dealing with. And so, Kevin, despite all of the people who had been murdered and lynched and abused, during the Jim Crow era, Rosa Parks' name is the prolific name. He wasn't the first person to take a stand on the bus. He was the last person. And so, for some reason, there has to be a murder to take place or an injustice to take place of a specific individual, not a whole bunch of people, because we can't fathom going to a place and you can't take a shower, or you can't receive medical care, or you can't receive protection from the people who are supposed to be protecting you, or anything like that. But one person has to die, not a whole bunch of people, in order for our conscience to be shocked. And for us, it's during times like this that you need an Alvin Holmes. But
yeah,
we don't have a prolific voice, elected prolific voice, to challenge this evil empire that's in place. And so because we don't, the people, we have to sit here and struggle and come up with creative ways when our elected officials are doing nothing to address this dastardly evil that's taking place. And their silence is convicting them too. So they should all expect to be voted out of office in due time. Thank you, Kevin.
I appreciate it. And listen, I don't disagree with Dr. White. Listen, some people ought to go to jail, but that don't mean they need to go there forever. They're just, who fights the parole board? I mean, who fights these things? Do we have any legislators that actually fight for the prisoners? I mean, listen, I'm not some liberal wacko. I mean, some people ought to be in jail. Some people ought to be put under the jail, but not somebody who get caught with cocaine in their car. PTSD, and he served time. And we ain't saying don't serve. He served time. They just got out. He picked up in 2012. So they let him out. Oh, we made a mistake. Like, that ain't somebody's life you're dealing with there. That's somebody's life you're dealing with. That's a human being. That's not, I accidentally let the dog out. That's not what that is. I mean, who fights these people? Our legislators are the ones should fight people like that. I'll never hear much of them talk about it either. Good morning. I can't name any. I can't name any. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, there's something wrong with that. I mean, this guy, a combat veteran, PTSD, he served time. When he say, but it was only for having cocaine in his car. I mean, I don't know. But you're right. You can kill people, and you can be out in 3 years. Well, I mean, they're just, can anybody name one legislature in the state of Alabama, be it Senate or be it House of Representatives, that ever brings up some of the wrongs that go on in our prison system? I can't think of one. Yeah. Well, I tell you somebody who got their eyes wide open. Former Governor Siegelman. When Roberta Franklin was trying to get a meeting with him, they didn't have time to meet, and all of a sudden, well, I don't know. I understand, but they all supposedly are down there for the good of Alabama. You don't need to send this. Y'all made the mistake. Y'all let him out early, but actually, when this came up, he was eligible for early parole. So you're gonna let him out. He's doing his due diligence. He's doing exactly what they said he's supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do in prison, and now we're gonna call him. Hey, son, hey, yo, bro, we. Now that's a whole different story. Now, that's a, yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. All right. Hey, appreciate it. I take one more. Good morning on there. Appreciate your call, I think. What's the deal? Brother, I ain't never washed out of nothing that I went into. Never.
The guy that got paroled up there, the black guy got paroled up there in New York, who killed his mother and beat the hell out of the Asian lady.
I'm trying to figure what the hell. Yeah, he needs to be in jail. Yeah.
Extra money in your account, so you be able to get it. They made a mistake.
They did that one day with me, and I was older, and I went. Well, it's not that the guy hadn't spent any time. He spent his time in there. Wait a minute. Well, he didn't shoot anybody. Right, but you can't pay it in prison. Oh, no, this was for drug. Because they always find you. Well, I don't know what the restitution. Well, I think I'm with you, but I think the restitution is to the state of Alabama. Okay, well, then did you see something in the article that I didn't? Well, I think that's what it is. Yeah. It did say fine. Yeah, well, you never can tell. Yeah, I'm with you. I'd be all alone. Hey, appreciate it. I think that's a fine he's paying, not restitution. Good morning. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All because of drugs. It was your boy that's president right now. Him and Bill Clinton. Yeah.
With the 100,000 new police officers and billions of dollars for prison, they acted like that. We don't have to worry about that. Somebody else will be held accountable for that.
But one of the things I have a problem. Listen, you give a guy all this time in jail, and then you're going to charge him $60,000 fine. Stemming from a drug. How in the hell is he ever going to pay $60,000 back in jail? It doesn't make sense to me though, and you wonder why people then rather shoot at the police than go back to jail for this silly stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we need some legislators who are willing to put their pride and their job on the line, because some of it doesn't make any sense. You give, and they let him out. They let him out, and he was doing a good job. He's been paying back the money the best he could, because once you get out at 52 years old, there ain't a whole lot of place going to hire you. And some of us have already got that decision, but we talked our way out of it. I got a friend that knows a friend. So, yeah. Hey, appreciate it. 860-14. He's a veteran, like myself. And, and I didn't go over to that place, that place over there, Desert Storm. So I admire the guys who did, and the ones who are still over there. And that they deserve a get out of jail card for something like this anyway, in my mind. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, guess I don't have you. Okay. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No. Wait a minute. I believe doing what's right. Yeah. Yeah. We can't change that. No. Yeah. Right. It just makes sense. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, I understand that. Hey man, listen, I got you. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I know. Well, he ain't gonna stop me for this. Yeah, yeah. No, nobody. And let me tell you what the violation was. The violation was that they made a mistake. The Attorney General's office is supposed to get a 30-day notice that he was eligible for early parole consideration. Okay, so because they had an administrative issue with their department, so now they're going to put this guy back in jail because somebody didn't pick up the phone and call the Attorney General's office? I mean, come on, man. Mm. Sound like Kamala Harris. Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. No, but Kamala Harris did. Kamala Harris had information that two guys didn't do the crime and wouldn't give it to him until they took it to court. So she rather they stay on death row. That's the woman y'all put in vice president. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Okay. Okay. But when you're dealing with people's life, that's different. And, well, we're gonna give you that. Listen, I gotta take a break. My time, the clock's on the wall. Time I gotta go. It's 8:45 in the morning. Appreciate what you're saying, but again, Attorney Jim Marshall, State's Attorney General Jim Marshall, ought to just squash this, okay? Because they didn't call somebody on the phone and let the Attorney General's office know that he was coming up for it, for a parole consideration. He was coming up for it, not that he was going to get it or not get it. So that's his fault. Really? He didn't kill anybody. Didn't hurt anybody except himself. Now, let's see what kind of attorney general we got. Let's see if Marshall is a fair man. Okay? Let's just see if that's possible. Or is it always put him in jail no matter what they do and let him stay there? I'm watching. I got my eye on you, Mr. Marshall. I got my eye on you. We'll be back.
I'd have to pay for my mistake. I can't blame you for what you're doing to me, girl. Even though my heartache.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Tax season can be a big headache if identity thieves steal personal info from your tax forms. LifeLock helps protect, monitor, and restore your identity. No one can monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com. Promo code RISK.
Well, the rain and storms are over with, and we've got absolutely no rain in the forecast for the next 7 days, but it is going to be much colder. A shot of winter this morning, starting in the upper 30s and low 40s with a stiff north wind. 10 to 20, gusting higher than that. It will stay windy all day. It will be entirely sunny, but we only get to about 57 with a stiff north wind. Tonight, we're down into the low 30s, widespread frost, mid-30s. Friday night to Saturday morning, we warm into the 70s for Easter.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Savory for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Hello, Montgomery. Right now, we're looking good. No major problems or accidents are being reported by the authorities that would send anyone on an alternate route. Looking at the surrounding counties, they're reporting clear as well. You keep listening. We'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Invisible Fence has indoor units that are movable. You can take them to a hotel or you can move them to a different area of your home. Call Vicki at Invisible Fence, 265-2585. That's 265-2585. Buckle up, front and back. It's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's Knows. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's Knows.
This is Mike Costanza with Chappie's Deli.
And Jeff Branca with Chappie's Deli.
Let's talk about Chappie's Deli casseroles.
We need to, because we hear all the time, you have casseroles?
Yes, poppy seed chicken, chicken parmesan, wild rice and mushroom.
And don't forget the spaghetti casserole.
Sorry to interrupt. Just walking by and heard you talking about Chappie's Deli casseroles.
Oh yes, we're kind of making a commercial here.
I pick up Chappie's casseroles all the time. People coming from the hospital, family gatherings, way better than flowers.
Wait, what about the commercial?
I've got it from here, Mike. I can talk Chappie's casseroles all day. I can just call ahead and come by and pick it up. My favorites are the poppy seed chicken, and the spaghetti, and the chicken parm, and the rolls are included.
Order your Chappie's casseroles to go at your favorite Chappie's Deli today. Chappie's Deli, Baptist South Tower, Perry Hill, Pepper Tree, Prattville, and Auburn.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Have you seen what's happening with the stock market? Record highs every day. How long can this possibly go on for? By the way, this is exactly what happened right before the 2000 dot-com bubbles burst. Remember that? Protect your savings in retirement by putting them into something safe like real gold and silver. I'm not talking about gold or silver stocks, but into real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. Now, the Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's so much easier than you think. So call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. The Oxford Gold Group is the only gold and silver company that I trust, and you should too. Get the Oxford Gold Investment Guide today. Learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how to have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
Many of the locally owned and operated restaurants you love are staying open to serve you during this difficult time. To find a list of these restaurants, visit newsradio1440.com. Eat local and help our local businesses stay open.
It's 8:51 in the morning. If you need to be somewhere by 9 o'clock, you got a little while to get there. But, don't take too much time, though, because, you guys Man, I was trying to pull off my April Fool's joke there, and it didn't go out too good. I couldn't do it well. Good morning. Who's this?
Who made Jim Crow?
Now, well, what do you mean, who made it? Bunch of Democrats did. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's Jim Eagle now. Yeah. Right. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. I guess. As a matter of fact, what Biden has yet to acknowledge that the state of Delaware has pretty much the same type of laws on voting as Georgia does. Yeah. Ain't very big. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh, yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Well, I think he knows what's going on, but he doesn't really care. It's about an agenda. Hey, man, appreciate it. Somebody sent me a text, says the Attorney General has a right to, and again, that's fine. But Mr. Lett did not forget to call the AG's office. Somebody in the system forgot to call the AG's office. And so you give the guy his early parole, but then you make the mistake, and now you want to go back and say, well, sorry about that, we put you back in jail. Well, he hadn't done anything to go back to jail for, Matter of fact, I think you got too much time anyway. And I'd be glad when next year gets here, because I'm gonna have me a drink of alcohol. Okay, I'm gonna see what's the deal. I mean, I know some good. It must be some good stuff. Too many people getting. I don't want to try the cocaine. I don't want to try that, because that stuff right there. It seems that's the worst. That seems like crack. Certainly don't want to try crack, but I've got to try some things and see what the hell's going on with all these drugs and stuff. Maybe I'll watch somebody else. Good morning. I am fine. All righty then. Appreciate it. As a matter of fact, somebody told me Delaware law was actually a little bit more restrictive. They don't have early voting. So okay, well that's good. I didn't know everything, but I do know that they had some of the same things that they're getting on Georgia about, you know. So while he's on the phone, here's something else too. Has anybody got on Biden about interfering with sports? No, we got on Trump. All Trump had to do was mention something, and all the news media got on him. But I see nobody has talked about not allowing, the baseball, the All-Star game going to be in Atlanta? He said, well, I think they ought to pull it. Has anybody told him to mind his own business? Of course not. I mean, what the hell has he got to do with baseball? I don't care if they never play a game of baseball again in America anyway, except the biscuits. You know, but I don't care about pros. You know, a bunch of rich people. Yeah, I don't care. You know, but anyway, I was looking at a thing here about cats, and I'm just not a cat person. I mean, I like hanging out with them. You know, I like messing with them, stuff like that. But you can't have has anybody ever had a guard cat? I didn't think so. You know, when I get a cat, I put something in the house, especially if he's going to stay in the house for free. He needs to be able to do something besides drop his stuff all over the place. He needs to be able to take a bite out of crime or something. So no guard cats. Let me take one more call before I get out of here. Forget the cats. Good morning. Well, some of them might be. I don't know, but they didn't call. They didn't call Biden. They didn't tell Biden to do that. And this old guy who beat that woman up, killed his mama. What the hell is he doing? Walking the street. You're gonna kill. If you'll kill your mama, you'll kill anybody. He ought to never see the light of day. Anyway, I gotta go. That's the guy in New York that beat up the Asian woman. Boy, the world's going crazy.
News update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Strong storms hit Alabama Wednesday. While it wasn't the tornado outbreak we've seen in the last 2 weeks, there was still damage reported. Most of it was in Walker County, but the storms also brought intense winds and rain to central and south Alabama. The National Guard will continue their mobile vaccine clinics today and Friday. They'll be at the Alabama National Guard Armory in Tuskegee today. They'll also be at the Old Guard Maintenance Shop in Linden today. Friday, they'll be at Wilcox Central High School. All of these clinics will operate 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and they're open to all eligible Alabamians free of charge. Life South Community Blood Center is putting out a new but familiar call for help. Life South says donors are needed right now to help our local hospitals reach a stable blood supply. All blood types are needed in what Life South calls an emergency need. To help, call Life South or visit the donation center on Carmichael Road in Montgomery. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440, the home of the University of Alabama baseball. Also heard on 95.